Today, we'll be discussing the French articles. In French, it is called les articles. Now, this is why this topic is really important. In the French language, nouns are always accompanied by articles. So when you speak and you mention a noun, an article should come before it. When you're writing and there's a noun, an article should come before it. So this is why it's important that you know the French articles. Bonjour, je m'appelle Verichima et bienvenue à Learn French with Verichima. In the French language, nouns are always accompanied by articles. Unlike the English language, you can write a noun or mention a noun without putting an article before it, okay? For example, when I say I love dogs, okay? In that sentence, we have a subject, we have a verb, and we have an object, which is a noun. That noun doesn't have an article beside it, okay? So we just have I love dogs. But in the French language, you say I love, and there must be an article before dogs, okay? The only exception to this happens when a noun comes after a possessive adjective, or when the noun is referred to as a profession or a religion, okay? So, for example, you don't say, this is my book, okay? Because of the possessive adjective my, the article is being replaced, okay? So the article is being removed and replaced with the possessive adjective. You don't say, then this is my house, or here is my book, okay? Same applies in French. Voici ma maison. The article has been removed because of the possessive adjective before the noun, okay? In French also, you do not add articles to profession, unlike it is in English. In the sentence, I am a doctor, in English, you say, I am a doctor. There is an article placed before the noun. But in French, the article is usually removed, is not placed before nouns that refer to profession or religion. Okay, so in French, you say, je suis docteur, which literally means I am doctor, okay? But in the actual sense, it means I am a doctor. It's when you're referring to religion. Unlike English, I am a Christian, I am a Muslim, okay? In French, you just say, I am Christian, so je suis chrétien, okay? In French, the only exceptions to when nouns should have articles before them is when the noun comes after a possessive adjective, when the noun is referred to as a profession or a religion. But in other cases, the nouns are always accompanied by articles. So what is a noun? A noun is a word that is used to describe people, places, animals, things, and so on. In the English language, the only time you categorize a noun to have a feminine gender, masculine gender, is when you're talking about people, talking about animals, okay? So a man is of a masculine gender, a woman is of a feminine gender, male cats, and so on. But in the French language, when you're talking about nouns, nouns always have genders. So whether it's a person, it's a thing, it's an animal, it's a place, okay? So for example, the word book. Book is a masculine noun, okay? Pen is a masculine noun. A car is a feminine noun. A country like France is a feminine noun. The United Kingdom is a masculine noun. So knowing the gender of all these nouns will help you know the right article to put before them, okay? Now, what is an article? An article defines nouns as specific or unspecific. So when you have an article, the article helps you to know if a noun can be identified with easily or not, okay? So I'll explain better what articles are as we go further in this lesson. Now, we have two types of articles. We have a definite article and indefinite article, okay? But in this lesson, we're focusing on the definite articles. A definite article helps you to know if a noun is specific, so it's used before specific nouns, okay? In the English language, you have just one definite article, which is THEV, okay? When you're talking about a noun that someone you're speaking to or your listener has an idea of, you use the article D before the noun, okay? For example, when you say the book is on the table, the book, Now, to whomever I'll be speaking with, it's assumed that the person has an idea of what book it is. Is it a textbook? Is it a notebook? Okay, the person already has an idea of what book I'm referring to. So when I say the book is on the table, now the table could be the only table in the house. Okay, it could be the only table that has a space for a book. The person who is being spoken to is assumed to have an idea of what is being spoken about. Okay, so that is what I mean by specific. In the English language, we have one definite article, which is the. Okay, but in the French language, we have 4 definite articles. Now these articles are le, le is pronounced as le, la is pronounced as la, l with an apostrophe. In French, we call it l apostrophe, and we have les pronounced as les. So we have le, la, l'apostrophe, and les. Okay, so we have 4 definite articles in the French language. I know it's a lot. I know 4 is a lot. Okay, but now the reason why we have 4 definite articles in French is because articles must agree in number and in gender with their nouns. Remember I said the nouns have genders in the French language. Don't get confused with this gender thing, okay? As you learn new words, as you learn new nouns, you should learn them with their genders, okay? I know it might seem a bit confusing, it might seem a lot, okay? Especially when you're used to the English language, it might seem a lot, yes. But it's something you learn on a gradual process, okay? Articles must agree in number and must agree in gender with their nouns, okay? Now, because nouns have genders and their articles must agree in number. So if it's a plural noun, the article must agree with the noun and the article has to be plural too. So if it's a singular masculine, there's an article to put before it. If it's a singular feminine, there's an article to put before it, and so on. Now this is why we have 4 definite articles in the French language. The first article I'll be talking about is the article les. L-E-S is pronounced as les. Now les is a masculine, feminine, plural article. So it can be used before feminine nouns or masculine nouns, but those nouns must be plural. So when you say I love dogs, you say j'aime les chiens. J'aime les chiens. Je is I, aime, which is from the verb aimer, which is to love. Les is the article, the plural article, and then we have chien, which is dogs. Okay, so why I say les is the simplest is because with the article les, you don't need to be concerned, you don't need to be bothered about what gender the noun that comes before it is, okay? All you need to be concerned about is what number, how many is it? Is it more than one? Is it singular or is it plural? So if it's plural, you just put the les. But les makes it a lot easy for you, but it works only with plural nouns. Okay, so when you have a plural noun, you put les before it. Now examples are voiture. So when the noun is plural, voiture with an S, okay, voiture, you say les voitures, okay? Les tables, that's tables. Les chaises, that's chairs. Les ordinateurs, the laptops, okay? Les ventilateurs, les stylos, okay? The pen, les livres, and so on, okay? So with plural nouns, you use les, which is the plural masculine or feminine article. Remember I said that countries have genders as well, okay? So when you're talking about places, in French they have genders, okay? Countries like the United States of America, it's a plural country, so you use les before it, okay? So it's les États-Unis d'Amérique, okay? Les États-Unis d'Amérique. So we have the les before it, okay? We have another country, Seychelles. Seychelles is a plural country. You don't say le Seychelles, you say les Seychelles, okay? Because it is plural, okay? So we have other examples like Americans, when you're talking about more than one person, okay? Americans, Africans, Asians, okay? You have to put an les before it. So Americans, les Américains, okay? So in that case, there must be an article which is les before it because you're referring to plural nouns, okay? Now this is because we don't have a plural masculine article that is used before plural masculine nouns, or a plural feminine article that should be used before plural feminine nouns, okay? So we just have one and it serves for whatever gender, okay? But the noun must be plural, okay? Okay, now this takes us to the next article, which is the article L with an apostrophe. L with an apostrophe is used before masculine, feminine, singular nouns. You don't need to bother again about the gender of the noun. So the only thing you need to be concerned about when using this L with an apostrophe, okay, this definite article, is that the noun that comes before it must start with a vowel letter or with a mute H, okay? When I say mute H, what I mean is H that is not pronounced, okay? Most times, H in the French language is not pronounced. It's written, okay? Whether it's in the beginning, middle, end of a word in French, in most cases, it's silent, okay? That's what I mean by mute H, okay? So when you have a H before the noun, okay, or we have a vowel letter before the noun, which is the first letter in the noun, okay, the article that comes before it is usually an L with an apostrophe. Now, this is why. L with an apostrophe is a contracted form of LE and LA. Okay, so it's LE and LA. But because in the French language, when you have LE and then the word that comes after starts with a vowel letter, E has been removed and replaced with an apostrophe. The same thing happens with the LA too. So if the noun that comes before it is a feminine noun but starts with a vowel letter, the A from the LE is removed and replaced with an apostrophe, okay? So in this case, you don't really need to bother about the gender because the same L with an apostrophe is used for both masculine and feminine, just that the noun must start with a vowel letter or with a mute H, and it has to be a singular noun, okay? So L apostrophe is used before nouns that are singular but start with a vowel letter or with a mute H. Really simple. So we have words like l'avion, okay, l'idée, l'ami, l'ami and l'ami. So this first l'ami ends with an E. The first l'ami is a feminine friend, okay, so ami means friend. So the first ami is feminine and the second ami is masculine because it doesn't have an E, okay? So in that case, despite the fact that they are of different genders, so feminine and masculine, we still use the same L with an apostrophe before it. Is that clear? So other examples are l'air, l'uniforme, l'oncle, okay, l'oncle, that's uncle. So there's an article, so the article L with an apostrophe is before it because it starts with a U. We have countries also that start with a vowel letter and you have to use an L apostrophe, okay, before them. So countries like l'Angleterre, okay, l'Algérie, l'Indy. So this is not limited to things and people and animals alone. We have countries, okay, that start with a vowel letter. Countries like Angleterre, so you say l'Angleterre, okay? Countries like Algérie, which is Algeria, or Algérie, okay? You put l'Algérie. Countries like India, so it starts with a vowel letter, l'Indi, okay? So you put the L before it and it gives it l'Indi, okay? So that's that about the L with an apostrophe, okay? Now let's get to the harder part, which is the LE and the LA. Now LE is used before masculine nouns, masculine singular nouns, and LA is used before feminine singular nouns. Another question that will be in your mind right now will be, how do I know the genders of nouns? Now, there's really no rule, there's really no serious rule about it. As you learn in noun, you learn the gender of that word, okay? That's how it works, so there's really no rule. There's really no serious, okay, direct rules. It has to be like this, it's always 100% like this. But I'll tell you one thing. One of the ways to know if a noun is feminine is when the noun ends with an E. Okay, this happens about 80% of the time. So 80% of the time when you see a noun that ends with E and you use a feminine article before it, you will be correct, okay? But 20% of the time, you will be wrong, okay? So we have words like voiture, okay? Voiture, which means car. Voiture ends with an E, okay? In that case, it is a feminine noun. Table, table, ends with an E, table. Okay, it's a feminine noun. Chaise, ends with an E, it's a feminine noun. Okay, we have a lot of them like that. Banana, which is banana, it ends with an E, it's a feminine noun. And now for people, we already know that when you're referring to a woman, she's of a feminine gender. We have a man, he's of a masculine gender. That's clear already, okay? Like in the word femme, femme means woman or wife, okay? So femme ends with an E, it's a feminine noun. In the word fille, fille means girl. It ends with an E. It's a feminine noun. Taunt, okay? Taunt means auntie, it ends with an E. It's a feminine noun. So for people, it's really easy to remember that people of the feminine gender, you use the feminine article before it, and the ones for masculine gender, you use the masculine before it. Now, countries are not left out. We have feminine countries, we have masculine countries. Countries like France, okay? La France. France is a feminine country, you say La France. Countries like Colombia, it's a feminine country, La Colombie, okay? Countries like China, China is a feminine country, say La Chine. Okay, so countries also have genders, and when they're feminine genders, you put the feminine article before them. 80% of the time, nouns that ends with the letter E are feminine nouns. But we also have nouns that do not end with the letter E, but are also feminine nouns. Okay, like the word television. Television do not end with an E, it ends with I-O-N, okay? Television is a feminine noun, so you say la télévision, okay? Another word, camera. Camera is a feminine word, which is camera. Yes, it's an A, okay? It's a feminine noun, you say la caméra. Flower, fleur. It's a feminine word, it ends with an R. It doesn't end with an E, but it's a feminine word. That's why it's just 80% of the time that words that end with E are feminine, and 20% of the time words that end with E are masculine words, okay? And there are other words that do not end with E but are considered feminine. So as you learn new words, you just learn them with their genders. It's really easy that way. It makes it stick. With all these, don't get bothered or confused or discouraged. Most of the time when you mention noun, and you don't put the right articles before them, people still understand you. They understand what you're trying to say. But it's good to know the right articles to put before the nouns, okay? So they have to have a sync. They have to agree, okay? In gender and in number with the nouns. So now let's talk about the article LE. So LE is a masculine singular article, and it has to be before a masculine singular noun. The only thing you need to bother about in this case is the gender and the number of the noun, okay? So we have nouns like stylo. Stylo is pen, and stylo is a masculine word, so you say le stylo. Ventilateur. Ventilateur is a masculine word, which means fan. Okay, you say le ventilateur. Vélo. Vélo means bicycle. Vélo is a masculine word, you say le vélo, okay? Football is a masculine noun, you say le football. Tableau, which means bird. Tableau is a masculine noun, so you say le tableau. Now if you realize, these nouns that I mentioned that are masculine nouns do not end with an E. Okay, we have other nouns that refer to people like boy, man, uncle, and so on. In that case, you know that these nouns are masculine because the people we're referring to are masculine, of the masculine gender, okay? So in this case, you have to use a masculine article before them, like garçon means boy, okay? So you say le garçon, okay? L'homme, you don't say, l'homme means man, but in this case, l'homme starts with a mute H, so you don't use le. As much as it is man, it means man, of masculine gender. You use the L with an apostrophe for it, okay? So the word son, fils, okay? Son means fils in French. With that, you say le fils, okay? Le fils. We have countries also that are of the masculine gender. We have the country like the United Kingdom, okay? The United Kingdom, which is Royaume-Uni, okay? So it's a masculine country. You say le Royaume-Uni, okay? Like I said previously, 20% of the time, nouns that end with the letter E, okay, are masculine words. For example, in the word livre, livre, which means book, it ends with E, but it's a masculine word, okay? So you say le livre, okay? Father, father is a masculine gender, but in French, father means père, okay? Père, and père ends with the letter E, you say le père. Telephone is a masculine word, it ends with an E, but you say le téléphone, okay? Tasse, it ends with an E, tasse means cup, it ends with an E, you say le tasse. Sugar ends with an E, which is sucre, okay? Sugar in French is sucre, ends with an E, you say le sucre. When you're using articles before days of the week, months of the year, and seasons of the year, okay? You use the singular masculine article. article because the days of the week, the months of the year, and the seasons of the year are masculine words. Like Monday is lundi, so it's le lundi, okay? Le mardi. Remember that it's not only in writings that you put articles before nouns. Even when speaking, you put articles before nouns. When making a list of nouns, you put articles before them, okay? So let's do a recap on all we've said so far. I'm going to give you an exercise. Okay? So this recap is going to be an exercise. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list of these articles, and on the other side, I'll give you some nouns. Okay, so I want you to trace them. So you trace the noun to the right article. I'll do the first one while you do the rest, okay? Are you ready? Vous êtes prêts? Alors, c'est parti. Let's begin. L'hôpital. Les enfants. La photographie. Le pain. Le sofa. La fille. L'uniforme. L'héritage. L'église. Now, if you got all of this correctly, you have done really well. That's a good job, bravo. And if you didn't get all of these correctly, it's okay, it's okay. I'd encourage you, go back to the beginning and listen to all I've said so far. I promise you, you understand it. In the next lesson, I'll be talking about the indefinite articles, okay? If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. I'll be there to reply to your questions. If you have any comments as well, put them in the comment section below. I'll be there to reply them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, join the family, and share this video, of course. I'll see you in the next lesson. À bientôt.